Hey everybody, this is Ringo Load again, aka JJNU from the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Community Forums, back with another video review, this time for Real Action Heroes Higashikata Josuke. Josuke is the main protagonist for Part 4 of JoJo, and he is Part 2's main protagonist, Joseph Joestar's kind of illegitimate son. So he's kind of interesting because he's Jotaro's like kind of his uncle, but he's younger than him, and Jotaro helps him develop his stand powers. Anyway, on to the figure itself. I will admit I'm not a huge Josuke fan. I don't like the design too much. He's a cool character, but you know, he's not one of my favorites. That being said, this figure really impresses me. I mean, it's got just the right amount of badass and kind of, you know, attitude. And of course it's really posable, the painting is all great, and you know, the fabric is really nice, and it really captures the character really well. One of those things that could really make you a fan of the character even if you weren't beforehand. Now, for the features for the main figure, I mean, he's just got super posability, he can do all sorts of crazy poses. I mean, you name it, he can do it. His head goes all around. He's got, you know, motion in the joint, in the wrists here, in the elbows, in the shoulders, in the waist, in the groin area, in the knees. I mean, you can do any pose imaginable, just like any of the other real action heroes. Okay, that doesn't stand up too well, but you get the point. The head, the detailing is amazing. I'll try and get him close to the camera. Detailing is great. I mean, the hair, Josuke's pride and joy, his hair is done very, very well. The accessories he's got here on the collar and everything are just like the manga, really great. The zippers here. This stays open really well, the jacket here, because it's got that wiring that they put in the fabric sometimes right along here. It's the only place that Josuke has it, because I don't know, he doesn't have the long flowing jacket that some of the other characters have, which is fine. He's got there's no wire here, but you know, he's got the big billowy pants, which actually look really great in person, and a little bit of kind of elastic in here to keep the jacket really close to his muscles, which I think is a really nice touch, because he kind of looks he looks beefy, you know, but not like super Arnold Schwarzenegger type Part 1 and Part 2 kind of badass, but you know, it looks very Josuke, which is cool. He's got the extra little, I don't know, mullet back here. He's got the earring, and the expression on his face is really great. He even has socks. So if you pose his feet and his kind of shoes, sometimes when you want to do these types of poses, like where he's squatting down, the foot kind of comes out of the shoe, and you can see this sock that he has. But it looks good, you know. And the baggy pants cover most of those kinds of poses anyway, so. Yep. Now, moving on to some of the accessories. Here, I'll put him down for now. We have some basic fist hands, which look really, really great. They're that kind of, you know, I'm about to punch you as hard as I can type of fists. Really well done. Oh, hit the camera. We have these kind of karate chop hands, which are also kind of to show off the hairstyle. Now, as you can see, some of my extra hands have scuff marks on them. That is not how they came. That's actually my fault. You know, I've been treating these figures a little rough since I, you know, had to bring them back from Japan in a crowded suitcase. So they don't come that way. Don't worry about it. Here's a kind of holding accessory hand. This is for the briefcase, which I'll show you in a minute. And this accessory holding hand is for the comb, which I'll also show you. Here's the briefcase. Now, it's actually, the briefcase you know, it's well molded and everything, but it doesn't have too much detail. I guess it won't matter to most people. It doesn't matter to me, but you know, like if you want, you could probably paint these buckles here and the straps to make it look a little nicer. But anyway, it's a briefcase, whatever, for school, part of the Gakudan. Now the other accessory he comes with, ta-da, the comb. The comb is Josuke's pride and joy. Comb his hair with this. It almost looks like it has individual bristles, although it's not molded that way. It's just a really neat little comb that he can hold. And the most important accessory, of course, the alternate head. Woo! Floating Josuke head here. This head looks badass. I mean, he just has this expression, I'm gonna kick your ass type expression. It goes really well with the fists, and I'll show you that in a minute, but this is a really awesome looking head, and this is how I prefer to keep him displayed. Okay, now let's show you how some of the accessories fit on him. Just pop the head off here, get the alternate head on. It's really easy to pop these heads on and off. Every now and then it gives you some grief, but for the most part it's okay. This head, I love this head. It looks so badass on him, and it really fits the character. It's molded really well, and it goes great with these fists. I mean, come on, how cool does that look? Really impressed by this figure, even though I wasn't expecting to. He can do all sorts of poses with the fists. One of my favorite poses. And like I said, the clothing sticks really well to the muscles in the arms, so it really helps him give him that look of like, I can really kick your ass. Okay. He's got this hand to hold the briefcase, which kind of just slides in there really easily. You can it's pretty flexible with how you want him to hold it. You can kind of just hold it like this. He can put it over his shoulder like this, which looks pretty great. You know, he can look like he's about to smack someone with it. Well, it doesn't hold in that well, but yeah, there you go. You can smack someone with it. He can be opening it up. I mean, you can do lots of cool poses with that. Although the accessory that I prefer to have on him is the comb, which just looks awesome when he's, oh, dropped it. You got to kind of stick it in there just the right way, so that it's between the fingers. But you can kind of have him like, oh, and the wrist came off now. You can have him kind of combing his hair any which way you want, like this. Have him combing it like this. Like this. You can be holding it. Or you can even, oh, there goes that wrist again, use this kind of karate chop hand to have him doing like a, oh yeah, I'm so sexy type of thing, like that. Kind of smoothing his hair back, which looks really cool. It's just really true to the character. Yeah, just combing my hair. And like someone said on the forums, I mean, you could totally do stop motion animation with these really easily. I mean, there's just such a range of possibilities with the posing and everything. All the alternate hands. Oop. Like this. So yeah, there's lots of possibilities. And I highly recommend this figure, even if you're not a Josuke fan, even if you're not a Part 4 fan. I mean, you can find Josuke pretty cheap, I think cheaper than, you know, Jolene or Jotaro or one of the other ones. I got him for under 10,000 yen, which was a really great deal. He was only like $100 pretty much, which really surprised me. I was pleasantly surprised by that, and I almost didn't get him. Because like I said, I'm not a fan of the character, but I don't regret it one bit. He's definitely worth having, and I'm building my Jojo main protagonist collection with real action heroes one bit at a time. I can't wait for the Jojo to come out. Okay, just a quick size comparison. This is a CD right here, David Bowie. Just for comparison to see how large he is, here's a Sharpie. He's quite big. I'd say Jolene is a little bit shorter than him. Unfortunately, I don't have her on hand right now for a size comparison, but I'd say she's a little bit shorter than him, obviously, as it should be, but not too much shorter, which it goes well. Jotaro is probably around the same height. The stand figures, of course, are much bigger, but I don't have any of those on hand. He comes with this standard stand accessory, which I won't get into now because I don't really use the stands. They don't work very well, honestly. And yeah, that is Real Action Heroes Josuke Higashikata. This is Ringo Load again, signing out, and I'll see you in my next review. Alright, peace out everybody.